Flylady Diane here. I'm standing in zone number 2, and zone number 2 in the Flylady system is the kitchen. Now, probably for a lot of you, if you saw the 31 baby step videos which I did, this is where doing the Flylady system, where it all starts. We start off by cleaning out our sink, shining it up, and it will just spread the shininess to the rest of the house and your home. So zone 2 is the kitchen, and that means that all the missions that you see posted Monday to Friday for this week will be kitchen related. Now, some of the missions will be decluttering, some of the missions will be cleaning. It's normally a mix of both. If you're just starting out with Flylady, it's a really good idea just to follow those missions, because it's easiest when you have somebody telling you what to do instead of thinking, well, where do I start? Do I start by cleaning out underneath the sink, or do I spring clean the oven? That's one of the great things about the Flylady system. It's all worked out for you. So if you're just starting out with Flylady, go and look on flylady.net. The missions are posted there during the week for week 2 for zone 2 when we're in this kitchen zone. Otherwise, you can download the Flylady Plus app. It's the app made up by Flylady Premium. I'm one of the mentors at Flylady Premium, and each day the day's mission will be there, so you don't even have to go and look for it. It's right there on the app. Now, all we're doing in zone 2 is just making things a little bit better in this area, and before you start, you're going to want to be dressed to shoes. And yes, I've got my indoor shoes on. Let me see if I can. Oh, there you go. I've got my indoor shoes on. You're also going to need to make sure that you use a timer. It doesn't need to be the Flylady timer, just use the timer on your telephone, whatever you have available. The reason that we use our timer before we start any decluttering or cleaning is because the timer gets us started, and it gives us that escape route of knowing that, when the timer goes off, we get to stop. And also it kind of forces us to stop, because you know what we're like when we get started. When we finally get started, we never want to stop. And then the whole house goes to pot because we've forgotten, to go and pick up the kids, or we've pulled out all the books from the bookshelves. We're not doing that any longer. We're just using our timer. Right, so that's about the timer. If you followed the 31 baby step videos which I did earlier, go and check out those. If you did those baby steps, maybe you want to take a look at your sink, give it a bit extra TLC when we're in kitchen zone. I normally, I wipe out my sink every night, and I just use the towel, the hand towel or the dish towel that I'm using, and then those ones go in the wash, and then I take out a fresh one. But during kitchen zone week, what I normally like to do is, just take some steel wool and, buff up my sink a bit, just give it a bit of extra TLC. There are loads of things that you can do in the kitchen. When you're waiting for your coffee to brew, just, open one of your drawers. You've probably got cutlery that you can look through. Is there anything in that drawer that can be given away, thrown away, recycled, donated? You don't have to see it as a huge project. Just use, if you're waiting for dinner to cook in the evening, you've got your dinner in the oven and you've got 5 minutes before it's ready, grab a purple rag and, and just wipe down one of the windows. It really doesn't have to take a whole day of cleaning. We're finished with that mindset because it doesn't help. We need small routines just to keep the whole thing running, the whole house running. Other things that you can do in the kitchen, you may want to do some spring cleaning. When we're in kitchen zone, this week I'm going to be taking out, we have an area where we can eat in the kitchen. I'm going to be taking out the pillows, really giving it a good hoover, a good vacuum. If you eat in the kitchen, maybe you want to wipe down the table legs, the chairs, especially if you've got little kids, because you know what happens with little kids, the food kind of flies everywhere. You may want to dust up, and I can see I've got serious cobwebs hanging down, so I'm going to be doing some dusting of ceilings in here. But otherwise, just make sure that you set your timer, and when you're finished doing something, give yourself a pat on the back. You know, you've done a good job. You know, make a cup of coffee, make a cup of tea, sit down, put your feet up, and enjoy looking at your efforts. All right, so that's it for me, Flylady Diane. This was zone 2, the kitchen. And remember that these zones, they come round every month. So if you don't get much done in the kitchen this week, don't worry, it's all good. We'll be back here before you know it. All right, but just try and do 2 or 3 minutes every day. If you've got more time, set your timer and go for it. And let us know how you're getting on. All right, so wishing you lots of sunshine today. The sun is just about to come out. Hooray! And I shall see you soon. Live long and prosper. Flylady Diane in wonderful Copenhagen.